Three businesses every single fighter should start if you want to actually achieve a life of fighter freedom, which is basically just where you live a life where you train martial arts and you find a way to monetize your passion, which is fighting at the end of the day. These are the three businesses that I've tried in the past, in the last 3 years of me achieving fighter freedom, where I get to train when I want, how often I want, and train the people that I love to train. This is exactly what I would do and the three businesses I would start if I was a fighter starting from zero and trying to achieve fighter freedom. Before we talk about the three businesses, you just need to understand the reality of professional fighting. You get low fight purses because you hear professional and you think they're on good money, because the definition of professional means that they get paid to do something. So a professional dentist means they're a full-time dentist. If they're a professional football player, that means they play football full time. But when you hear professional, that's what you think about fighters as well. But what it basically means is that they're semi-pro. In fighting, especially in mixed martial arts, kickboxing or jiu-jitsu or anything like that, everything apart from boxing basically, you're not getting paid a lot. You get very, very low fight purses. On top of that, especially if you're a professional and you're taking your fight career a lot more seriously, you're going to have very expensive fight camps. You might even have to travel to different gyms in your same country or even abroad to try and actually fight and get some good training in for your fight. Some shows make you even pay for your medicals as well. Not every show will actually pay for your medical. Equipment as well. You guys understand how fast you get through boxing gloves, shin guards, etc. You'll always have to pay for that. And then of course you've got unpaid training. So you're not like a professional football player where even if you sat on the bench, you're going to get paid. When you're training in mixed martial arts, unless you fight or unless you've got a business, which we're going to talk about later on, you don't get paid for your training. So how do we prevent that from being a problem for us? So the biggest mistake that most amateur fighters make, or even just professional fighters, is they'll make money when they turn pro. And turning pro, like I said, is basically turning semi-pro. That means you're going to have some sort of full-time job to actually pay for your training. Otherwise, you're not going to get any fights in because you're not able to train, right? For you to get fighter freedom, you need a source of income that complements your sport. A source of income that is inside fighting, basically. And the way you do that, boys, is by building an income around the skills you already have as a mixed martial artist. So yeah, you already have valuable skills, mate. You know how to fight, you know how to lose weight, you know how to build confidence, because most fighters are pretty confident people. You know how to teach fighting technique. If you've got to the point where you've had a few fights, you can definitely teach a beginner how to fight. And of course, most importantly, if you've had a fight, you know how to prepare for a competition. Most fighters massively undervalue themselves, and I'm going to show you how to get as much value out of yourself as possible. So business method number one is personal training. This is by far the easiest place to start if you want to start achieving fighter freedom, because you really truly do not need any qualifications for this business model. I have 0 qualifications, right? And I've got myself to about 2 to 3k a month pounds, 2 to 3k a month in pounds, not dollars, from just doing personal training alone, let alone my other businesses as well. If you have 0 qualifications and you know more than somebody that you're teaching, they're still going to see you as an authority. You don't need a level 3 boxing certificate. You don't need a level 3 personal training certificate to do this. You could literally get into some sort of pad holding. You could do boxing pad holding, K1 pad holding, Muay Thai, MMA pad holding as well. You could be a grappling coach. You could be a strength and conditioning coach, or you could even become a gym personal trainer. So if you were to become a gym personal trainer, I feel like you do need some sort of qualification. Most gyms don't just let random people tell people what to do in the gym for some reason. They let you do it for fighting. So if you're a fighter, don't go the gym personal training route. I would recommend just starting the business now, messaging all the friends that you think would want to do some MMA personal training. Shoot your shot, basically. Offer them a first session. If they don't love the first session, they might not do it again. So if you make it really addictive and then you start asking for money, before you know it, within a month you could have a full-time personal training business if you really tried. This is where you can start making some real money, boys. The method number one, the in-person personal training, you're obviously limited to the people inside your area. You're obviously limited to the people inside your mixed martial arts gym. However, when you do high-ticket online coaching, you trade that local reach to global reach. That means you can literally talk to anyone on the entire planet. High ticket, the definition of high ticket means that you're going to be charging anything above $1,000, right? So that means it's got to be a really good premium service. Before I tell you what types of products that you could sell with your online coaching, just understand that people buy transformations. They do not buy training plans. They do not give a shit about a keto diet training plan. They do not give a shit about a weight training plan or even a strength and conditioning training plan. They just want to know how you're going to be the man that can transform their life. If you can give somebody a transformation, that means you can charge a lot of money. If you're just selling them some sort of PDF file about some sort of training plan, even if it does get them a transformation, they're not going to buy it. They just want to know how you can take them from where they are now to where you are right now. Obviously, there's many different ways that we can do online coaching. You can do fighter strength and conditioning coaching, which is what I used to do. You can do weight loss coaching, which is another thing that I used to do as well. I used to just do transformations. Even just accountability, because people just want somebody there just fucking telling them what to do. Some people aren't like me and you. Me and you are self-motivated. That's why you're watching this content right now. Most people aren't self-motivated. They need somebody like me and you who are disciplined killers telling them what to do all the time. And the reason why we charge a lot for a premium service is because it's ideal for people with a low amount of followers. If you haven't got a massive amount of followers like me, where you've got just under 4,000 followers, you don't want to be selling something very cheap. You want to be selling something that's very expensive, and it's a premium service to get them a life-changing transformation. Maybe they've been struggling to get down from 25% body fat down to 10% body fat their whole life. If you could teach somebody how to do that, that's a life-changing transformation. They're going to be getting way more success with girls. They're going to be getting treated better by most people. Their family's going to respect them better. It's a transformation, and you can sell them the trip to Bali. You can sell them the trip to fucking Dubai, whatever. That's basically what we're doing here, boys. High ticket online coaching is by far the easiest method to get into if you're trying to escape fighter poverty, basically. So yeah, method number 3. This is better for people with higher followers, which I'm assuming most people watching this don't have more followers than me. I've not got a massive amount of followers, but I've got about 4K followers on Instagram, about 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And even I wouldn't dabble with this until I've got at least 100k followers on Instagram, right? But the more audience you have, the more power you have, basically. So this is where you do low ticket courses. You could do courses on like strength and conditioning, weight cutting, personal brand education. Without a personal brand, you can't do any of these things, because the content from the personal brand will develop trust with your audience. The more trust you have with your audience, the more clients you get. And then of course, the more clients you get, the more income you get. And then of course, the more income you get and the more great results you get for your clients, the more testimonials you get, and then you can just keep on recycling this over and over and over again. So I do truly believe that every serious fighter, everyone that's serious about this sport, needs a personal brand. And then once you've got a personal brand, your content becomes proof on the knowledge you have, your training that you do on a daily basis, your personality as well. If you don't show any personality, your audience aren't going to relate to you. And without people relating to you, they can't trust you. So when you start talking about your experience and your results, they're not really going to give a shit unless you show some sort of personality. That's why it's called a personal brand. You want to try and find like-minded people to you across the whole world that you can eventually sell to. If you don't show any personality, how are they going to know that they can relate to you? I'm not telling you to become some sort of TikTok dancer or get your tits out on camera, but I'm saying show a little bit of personality. Don't sit on the fence on your personal brand. Talk about the things you agree with, talk about the things you don't agree with, and then some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. The people that love it are probably going to buy off you in the future. The people that hate it, they're going to unfollow you, they were never going to buy off you. So who cares who unfollows you? The whole point of a personal brand is that somebody watches your content for a long enough amount of time and eventually thinks, I'd actually pay him to coach me. Or they might think something along the lines of, if there's one man that can help me solve this problem, Shay is a man. Or Gertrude is the man, whatever your name is. So if I had to start all over again from zero, I'd start posting content 10 years ago. I started posting content 3 years ago. I wish I started doing it 10 years ago. I'd be on way more than 100k followers right now. I'd start PTing as soon as I started as well. And then I'd start getting some amazing results for my clients. Once I started getting amazing results for my clients, I'd actually start doing some online coaching. I'd start trying doing the online coaching from the very beginning as well, to be honest. I probably wouldn't start getting success on online coaching until I start getting results from my in-person coaching. And once I've got my online coaching going, I'd start trying to build an audience as fast as I can. I'd start trying to grow my pages on all my social medias, my YouTube, my Instagram. And then once I've got to 100k followers on Instagram or YouTube, I'd stop doing the coaching. I'd stop helping people as much as like an in-person personal trainer online. And I'd start launching scalable products like courses or communities, which I'd suggest for people that have over 100k followers. So yeah, the real goal that we're trying to do here, boys, is we're not trying to make money from fighting, we're trying to make money around fighting. There's a massive, tremendous difference. Unless you get to the UFC and unless you're like one of the top stars in the UFC, you're not gonna have enough money to live off just fight purses. The fighting that you document along the journey on your personal brand, it will eventually build authority. Your coaching, your content and products will create the income for you. So then you're buying back your time, so then you can keep on training. And then the training helps build the business, and the fighting skills simultaneously just get better alongside that. Business and your personal brand are actually going to help you become a better fighter, and you're going to get paid more money. So yeah, if you want to build a fighting income, if you want to build an income around fighting, you can join Fighter Freedom Accelerator. So I'm basically trying to help fighters achieve fighter freedom, which is what I've achieved for the last 3 years now. I've also got a lot of clients that are also now achieving fighter freedom, where they can just basically post content, make sales, and get amazing results for their clients. And then they can just keep on rinse and recycling that knowledge to earn more and more money each month. And then because of that, they're going to become better fighters each and every month too. So yeah, if that sounds interesting to you, you can book a call below, first link in the description, or you can DM me fighter on my Instagram, which is ShayHammond_. Thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.